Hello everyone, welcome to Mathics. In this video, we're going to do AMC, Australian Mathematics Competition 2022, questions 1 to 20 in this video. In the next video, I will just make the rest of the questions. It's going to be intermediate level, and I think the questions are not out there yet. One of my subscribers named Raven, I think, or Raven, sent me the questions, and I'm going to use those to give you solutions. And if you want the same thing happening for other tests, other AMC levels, so if you want, you could send me your own questions, okay, or tell me what test you want, and I could give you and make a video of the solutions, okay? Now, let's start. Well, as you see, the quality of the questions is not that great, but I think it will do. Okay. So the beginning questions are easier, so we will do them, okay, more quickly. So question 1 is very easy. Okay. 2,220 minus 2022 is going to be C198. Okay. So let me also highlight it. Okay, it's going to be C. Okay, so let's focus on question 2. Okay. The shape is built from 29 squares, each one 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. What is the perimeter in centimeters? Okay. So it's perimeter, okay, but as you see, okay, we don't have to calculate the perimeter of all the shape. We could just do the perimeter of this part, okay, how long this part is in centimeters, okay, and multiply this by 4, okay. So let's just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And we're going to have 4 of this. Okay, so 4 13s. Okay, is going to be 52. So, okay, let's just clean this part. Okay, let's move on to question 3. Okay. Put it in the middle. A digital clock shows the time as, okay, 8 o'clock, 22 minutes. In how many minutes will it be midnight? Okay. The answer is in 3 hours. Okay. And 38 minutes, it will be midnight, right? Okay, yes. So we just need to just turn this into minutes. 3 hours is, of course, multiplied by 60 is 180 minutes plus 38 minutes. Okay, it's going to be 218. Okay. So because the questions are easy, I'm not going to explain a lot. Okay. It will be different for the next questions. Let's go and do question 4. What is the value of this? I think, again, this one is not very difficult. Larger. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared is 9. 4 squared is 16. It's going to be 5 over 25. Okay, let's simplify, dividing both of them by 5. 1/5. 1/5 is the answer. Okay. So let's go and do question 5. Okay. In this triangle PQR, these two sides are the same. Okay. And QPR is 48 degrees. And these two parts are for Raven. These are not for the questions. So he put them there. And okay, again, not very difficult. We know that the sum of the internal angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Okay, so the sum of these two will be 180 minus 48. Okay, and then we need to divide this by 2 because we have two angles, Q and R. Okay, we just want PQR, which is going to be this one. Okay. So it's going to be 132 divided by 2. Okay, it's going to be 66. Let's do the last question on the first page. What fraction of, okay, the rectangle is shaded? Okay. So let's find the area of the rectangle first. It's going to be 8 times 7. 56. Okay. Now the area of this trapezoid. Okay, this one. Okay. There are two ways. Maybe you would like to find the area of these two. Okay. If this is 8, this is 12. So these are 4. This would be 2. This would be 2. You could find these areas, subtract them from the rectangle, or you could find the area of the trapezoid, okay, itself. So how do you find the area of trapezoid? We add these two and then divide them by 2, which is the average, and then multiply it by the height over here, which is 7. Okay, so it's going to be like this. Average of 8 and 12 divided by 2 is going to be 10. Multiplied by the 7. Okay. I made a mistake. Okay. So as I said, the area of the trapezoid is going to be 10 times 7, 7t. Okay. But I said I calculated the area of the rectangle wrong. I multiplied 8 by 7. It's not true. It's the area of the rectangle is 12 times 7. Okay. So now this 70 and 7 cancel becomes 10. So the answer is 10 over 12. Dividing both of them by 2, 5, 6. Okay. So that's the answer. So I'll see you in the next page. Okay, we are on the next page. So question 7. Okay, 0.4 squared is going to be 0.16 plus. Okay, this is squared is 0.01. Okay, we add them. 0.17. Okay, it's going to be C. See, the beginning questions are not really that tough. But don't worry, they get more difficult and they get more challenging little by little. Okay. This one, the quality of the question is not good. I tried to read it better. Australia uses 160 million liters of petrol each day. There is enough petrol stored to last 60 days. Okay, they stored enough that lasts 60 days. How much more petrol does Australia need to buy to have enough stored for 90 days? Okay, so they have enough for 60. They want 90 days stuff. So they need to buy for 30 days more. Okay, so 30 days extra. They require 1 day. They need 160 millions. So we just need to multiply 160 million multiplied by 30. Okay, how much is that going to be? Okay, 16 times 3, okay, is 48. Okay, 1 0 here, 1 0 here, 2 zeros. Okay, and the million will be repeated, which is going to be E. So still we continue to question 9. Okay. This one, question 9, we want to subtract these two. The denominators, okay, are going to be, we need to change the denominators. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay. So 2 will be, that's to be multiplied by 3. I think I don't need to explain that. It's too basic. So it's going to be 3 times 2022. I need to continue this. Minus 3 has been multiplied by 2 times 222. If you multiply them in the test, what is 3 times 2022? And you multiply them, then subtract them, well, you're wasting a lot of time, okay? Because 2022 is repeating, we need to just factorize it, okay? We have 3 of these minus 2 of these, okay? Okay. So it's going to be, 3 minus 2 multiplied by 2022 divided by 6. Of course, it's going to be 1. You have 3 of something minus 2 of that thing, 1 of that thing, okay? So 2022 divided by 6, okay? It's going to be the same as 1011 divided by 3. Okay, as you see, the only one is going to be 300 and something. It's hard to calculate. So I'm just going to choose this one. Okay. It's a test. We don't have to calculate everything. Okay. Now, which term should replace the triangle in this equation? Okay. Very easy, right? So we have 3 of this. Okay, so we're going to have 3 triangles equals 27. Okay, x cubed y to the 6th power. Okay, both sides obviously need to be divided by 3. These 3 will cancel. Okay, so we're going to have a triangle equals 27 x cubed y to the 6th power, all of this divided by 3, okay? So now we just have to divide these two. We're dividing the coefficients, right? We're not going to touch, okay, the variables. 27 over 3 is going to be 9. So it's going to be 9. The same thing, x cubed, y to the 6 are not going to change. So the answer will be B. I think it was easy. Okay, so from here, we're going to go to question 11 to 20. So you will see, okay, that the challenge level will increase. Okay. I made too much mess here. It's better now. Okay. 3 vertices of a rectangle, okay, are the points 1 and 4, 7, 4, 1, 8, at which point do diagonals of the rectangle cross. So if non-natives are watching this, right? So I have a lot of Chinese students. So they would have problems with the word vertices and diagonals. So vertices are the points. Diagonals are these two. Okay, and of course they cross, they intersect at this middle point. So you just need to spot these points, right? But remember, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. The first number will show x-axis, the second one now y. So this one, we have to go on x-axis. 1 will be here, so 4 will be here. This is 4, this is 1. Now with the same 7 and 4, see, as you see, the y is not changing. 7 is changing, so this would be 7. Okay? And that means how long is this side of the rectangle? 6. To get to this cross point intersection, we need to go 3. It's going to be plus by 3 later. Okay. So let's continue. 1 and 8. Okay. X's are 1, but this will increase to 8. So we were at 4 here. We are at 8 here. How much did we go up? How far? We went up 4. So this side is actually 4. So to get to the middle point, we need to go up half of that, which would be 2 here. So from this point, which was 1 and 4, okay, x1 plus by 3. This 4 plus by 2, I have to write it backward. So it will be 4 and 6. There we go. Okay, too much mouse. Let me clear everything. Is that the last question on the page? No, there is one more. Okay. This question is again a little tricky. And Raven has said that B is not the solution. Okay, let's see if he's right. By the way, I think for these types of question, instead of solving it, the best option is just trial and error. So for example, is it 1? If this is 1, let's assume it's 1. This whole thing will be 1. Okay? So that means this thing will be 2. Okay, all of this would be 1 over 2. 1 over 2 plus 1 will be 3 over 2. So, is that this one? No. So go like this and eliminate the options. It would be so much easier. That's what I would recommend. But if you want to learn how to solve it, if you're interested, I think it makes sense to call all of this something else. Okay, we're going to call it R for Raven. So let's call it R. So, and then let's try to solve it. 5 over 3 is going to be the same as 1 plus 1 over 1 plus y. Okay. So you could add this, right? You could add these two together. I wouldn't like to solve it like that. Instead, okay, I'm going to remove 1 from here and then add 1 from here. So we know that 5 over 3 is the same as 1, which is 3 over 3, plus 2 over 3, right? So instead of this 5 over 3, we're going to write this. Let me do that. So instead of this, we'll write 1 plus 2 over 3. Okay, the reason I did it is kind of obvious now. You see that these ones are the same. So this has to be 2 over 3. Okay, let's go and use that. So now we'll learn that this 1 over 1 plus y is supposed to be 2 over 3. So, but as you see, it's not going to be, okay, this is 1, this is 2. So we just need to multiply both of these by a 2. Okay, you see it's too much work. Just guesswork, trial and error would be so much better. So it would be 2 over 2 plus 2y equals, oh, I call it R and then I use y. Sorry, guys. So 2 plus 2y. It has to be 2 over 3. Okay, this side of the equation. So this is, that means this 2 plus 2y has to be 3. So let me write it here. So 2 plus 2y is supposed to be 3. So 2y will be this 2. Subtracting both sides by 2. It's going to be 3 minus 2, which is 1. So y, which was our R, Raven, okay, is 1 over 2. So that means this is 1 over, this triangle was 1 over 2. So this is 1 over 2. So the answer is 2. A lot of work. I wouldn't recommend it. Just go, okay? Just try each number. So much easier. Okay, so question 12 is done. As you see, we have finished this page. Take a peek, right? Okay, I think the questions are not out there yet. So, okay, I'll see you on the next page. Okay, we're going to do the third page of the test, question 13 to 17. The angles of a triangle are in the ratio of 2, 3, and 4. What is the size of the largest angle in degrees? So we know that, again, internal angles of a triangle together, they're 180 degrees. So it's going to be easy. All we have to do is divide them all by 2 plus 3 plus 4. Because it says the largest angle, so we're trying to find this one, okay? If you wanted the middle-sized angle, you would multiply by 3. If you wanted the smallest one, you would multiply by 2. Okay, this is going to be 9. So 180 over 9 is 20. So it's going to be 20 times 4. Not very difficult. 80. Okay, again, not a difficult question. I think the next question is the first question that might challenge. So I think this question, again, as you see, Raven is the student, I think is a student, I assume, who sends me these questions asking me to make these solutions. Okay, by the way, you could do the same thing for other tests or other levels of AMC. Okay, I think first it was challenging to him, but then he figured it out. So let's go. In this puzzle, each circle should contain an integer. Each of the 5 lines, so there are 5 lines, obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of 4 circles, 1, 2, 3, 4 circles, should add to 40. When the puzzle is completed, what is the largest number used? Okay, that's the first question that is, I think, challenging. So it said it needs to add up to 40. So this is all these numbers together should be 40. 15 and 7, 22, 24, and I think it's okay, that is 16. Okay, so, and I think I am blocking a part of the question. So this is 9. So 9 and 16, 25. Okay. So this is supposed to be 7 because all of this is supposed to be 40. So from here, it gets difficult, right? So how to do it? You see, the sum of these should be 40. The sum of these should be 40. The sum of this should be 40. So the safest way, but probably the longest, would be writing an equation. Maybe you could do some guesswork if you get lucky, I don't know. So for this one, I would write the equation. So 2 plus 7 plus a plus c should be 42 plus 7 plus a plus c should be 40. That's the first equation. Okay. Oops. Okay. Now let's write it for this one with a and b. 9 plus 7 plus a plus b is going to be 40 again. Again, we need to write another equation. I didn't write it for this one. No, not that one. I didn't write it for B and C, so I didn't write it for this one, right? So the last one will be 8 plus 15 plus B plus C is 40. Now we have 3 variables and 3 equations, so definitely doable. So, but we have some space problems here. So let's simplify this one. This is going to be 23. Both sides minus by this. So b plus c would be 17. Subtracting both sides by 23. So I will clean this. Now the second one. 9 plus AC is 40. 40 minus 9 is 31. So A plus C is 31. Again, I clean this one. This is 16. 40 minus 16 is 24. So A plus B is 24. Now how to solve this one. Okay. You see, you just have to select either one that you want. So you just have to subtract randomly 2 of the equations together. See, now I will go with this. I'm going to subtract these two. This one, this equation, minus this equation. See, when we minus them, it would be A minus A. So A's will be gone. So I'm going to go this equation minus this equation. It would be A minus A, right? So it would be gone. So 0. And then we'll have C minus B equals 31 minus 24, 7. So C minus B is 7. C plus B is 17 over here, isn't it? So the first equation. Now I'm going to use this equation, number 3. Okay, I will write it again one more time. So B plus C is 17. So all we have to do is add these two equations together. Okay, so the left sides, when we add the left sides, this B and this B will cancel. So we'll have 1C and 2C. So 2C's will be the same as 17 plus 7, 24. So C is 12. So we got C. C is maybe it's the largest number. We don't know. If C is 12, well, B is 5. B is very small. If B is 5, well, A is 19. Yes. So we wanted the largest one. The largest one is this brother over here. It's 19. So the answer is E. So that was a long one, right? And kind of difficult for question 14. Right? Maybe could have guessed it. Then it would have been much, much faster. So if you have a better idea, maybe you could also write it in the comment section. Right? I am thirsty. Sorry, guys. I have to drink this. D and L arranged to meet at a cafe. Luke leaves work, walking at this speed. 5 minutes later, D starts cycling at his flat. You see, they're not going from the same places. Okay, and then a further 15 minutes later, both arrive at the cafe at the same time. What is the total distance traveled? Much, much easier than the previous question. So one place leaves work, one of them leaves work and walks to the cafe. The other one, Daniel. Daniel lives where? His flat. So Daniel would go a longer distance. He's going with the bike. Goes here. So from the workplace, who's doing that? L, Luke. Luke goes with this speed with 6 kilometers per hour. Okay. For 20 minutes. Why 20 minutes? 15 minutes here, 5 minutes here. 20 minutes is how many hours? Is a third. Okay. So because 20 minutes, okay, is going to be 20 over 60 minutes is going to be 1/3 of an hour. So look, we go with the speed of 6 for 1/3 of time. You get 6 over 3, 2. So Lou walks for 2 kilometers. How about Daniel? Daniel goes with the speed of 20. He's on a bike, of course, faster. An hour. But he started 5 minutes late. So only 15 minutes. 15 minutes is how many hours? Not even 1 hour. 1/4 of an hour. Okay, so you go with the speed of 20 for 1/4 of time. It's going to be 20 divided by 4, 5 kilometers, right? So let me check. Okay, no mistakes. So 20, 1/4 of an hour. Yeah, that's 5, definitely. And 2. So now, what is the total distance they traveled? A 5 kilometers and a 2 kilometer. 5 and 2 is 7 kilometers. So let me clear this part and do question 16 together. Okay, my family of 7 adults and 5 children gather each year to celebrate Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival. Well, all my students are Chinese, and I don't think they do that. They have too much homework to do. Well, they barely have time to like play games or watch TV. They never do that. Okay. So here, each adult gives one gift to everybody else. So we have 7 adults, and 7 adults are going to give gifts to whom? To 5 children and to other adults, right? There's 7 adults. They're not going to give gifts to themselves. So they're going to give the gifts to 7 people minus 1. So it's going to be 6. 5 children and 6 other adults. Okay. Each child, so we have 5 children, is going to give to every other child. Again, the kids are not going to give gifts to themselves. So 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay. This is 11. times 777 plus 20, 97. That's 20. Okay. So it's kind of, you make you wonder why question 16 is so easy and then this question is so hard. Maybe there is a better solution than the one I did. Okay. So I think this is as you see. Let me do some cleaning. That's a long question. Oh my goodness. Let me clear all the page. Okay, so I'm blocking one of the options is 9/16. Okay, this spinner is spun twice to form a 2-digit number using the following rules. The first value spun forms the 10-digit of a number. So we're going to have a 2-digit number like this. This one, of course, is the 10th digit. So as you can see, we could have 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we're going to have any of them possible. So they're going to be like 4 options for the first one. Okay. If the second value rolled is larger than the first, so for example, if the first one is 1 and the next one is 2, which is large, it becomes the units digit of a number. So that's it. Good. Okay. So if it's 1 and 2, good. If it's 1 and 3, again, no problem. If the second value spawn is not larger than the first, which is going to be the same or smaller, then the 10th digit is repeated as the units digit. Okay. All right. So for example, let's see. What if the first one that we roll is 4? Okay. And again, then the next number we roll is 3. Then what happens? So that would be the second value, like 3. Okay. Is not larger than the first. That's going to be. Then the 10th digit, 4, is repeated. So 4, 3, 43 turns into 44. Okay. Interesting. So what is the probability that the resulting 2-digit number is divisible by 11? Because there are not going to be too many options, let's make a list. Okay. I'll go here to have some space. So the first number is 1. Go down. The second number is the same. Okay. So it's going to be 11. So the first number, 11. Now, what if the second number is larger, like 12? So because it is larger, then it becomes the units digit. So no problem. 1 and 3 like this, 1 and 4 like this. Okay, so these are numbers. Now, what if this first number is a 2, like the case is here? Then, what if we roll a 21? 1 is smaller than 2. So the 10th digit will repeat. So we will not going to have 21. Okay. 21 will automatically turn into 22 as well. So 22 is 22. We're not going to change it. So 23. 3 is larger than 2, so no problem. 4 is larger than 2, no problem. So what happens if we have, right, all the possibilities? Let me write them all. 32, 33, and 34. 31 is not acceptable because the second number, okay, is not larger than the first number. So this will turn into clean 33. So the same story happens with 32 again. 32 will also be 33. 33 not touched. So 34 is also okay because like this, it becomes, if the second value rolled is larger, so it is larger, then no problem. It becomes the units digit. So, and then we're going to have to deal with 4, 41, 42, 43, and 44. So again, right, if the second value spawn is not larger than the first one, then then this will be repeated. So this has to be cleaned, this one cleaned, and this one cleaned. So all of them will be 44, 44, and 44. Now we're going to have 16 numbers. And how many of them are divisible by 11? The numbers that are repeating are divisible. So 44, 1, 2, 3, 4. 11, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So from the 16 possibilities, 10 of them will be divisible by 11. 10 over 16 will be 5 over 8. Okay, which will be this option. Okay. Oof. So before we go to the next one, I want you to just take a look. And these are the 2022 questions. So for this video, I will do the next page, but question 21 to 30 will be kept for another video. Okay, the fourth page of the test. Okay, question 18 to 20. So you'll see that the questions are getting more challenging. We have 8 overlapping unit squares. Okay, so each side is going to be 1. They're going to be unit squares. Are drawn to produce a flower shape as shown. The parts where 2 squares overlap are isosceles triangles. So that's isosceles triangle. Okay. So this is 90 degrees. These are 45 and 45. What is the total shaded area? Okay, because they're overlapping, they're going to be, we had 8. So the answer is, of course, smaller than 8. All the options are smaller than 8. Now what to do? So, see, what is the area of this? Right, each of these triangles. If we have the area of one of this, then it's over. This is 90 degrees. You see, the trick, I think, is, so if we continue this part, so it'll be half of the square, right? All of this is 1 square. So this is half of the square. And one of these triangle is going to be half of half, which is going to be 1/4. Okay, I think now a lot of you can answer the question. So look, if this is 1/4 of 1, because the area was 1, this is also 1/4. Together, they are a half. So it means that this ridiculous shape is also 1 over 2. Okay. So with this, it's easy. Okay, now let's go and count. So let's just select how many perfect squares we have. 1, 2, 3, okay, and 4. So we're gonna have 4 of these goodies. So the areas that we don't have are these shapes that we figured out they are half. So how many of these do we have? Okay, this shape, it will be 1 over 2 here. This shape over here, 1 over 2 here. And the last one, of course, I'm going to draw it for the last one. This is also 1 over 2. So as you see, we have 4 of these 1 over 2s. And we have 4 complete squares. So the red ones are easy peasy 4. Okay, and we're going to have 4 of halves. Of course, it's going to be 4 of halves. It's going to be 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay. Okay, Rick and Nick started learning guitar recently. 2 weeks ago, Rick had been learning 5 times as long as Nick. 2 days ago, Rick had been learning twice as long as Nick. Today, what is the number of days that Rick has been learning plus the number of days that Nick has been learning? Okay. The question is ambiguous, okay, because here it says 5 times as long as Nick in terms of what? Like the number of sessions, hours? Here it says the number of days, so we have to assume that means the number of the number of days was 5 times more. Okay. So let's just go here. Let's assume that this is now. So we have 2 time references. One of them is 2 weeks ago, right? So that's going to be 1 week here, 7 days here. And again, 7 days here. So before this time, both of them had already started. So both of them have been doing this for more than 14 days. Nick, for this much, do we know how many days? No. But we know that Rick was 5 times before this. So my red line should be 5 times as big as my orange line. That's why I draw it like that. Okay, we also have another time reference, which is 2 days over here. So I think the graph is complete now. Okay. So let's just start. 2 weeks ago, we're talking about this time. Rick, R, had been learning 5 times. So that's the first equation. R is 5n. That's the first equation. Okay, now the second equation. Okay, 2 days ago, this one. Let me change color. This one. Two days ago, Rick had been learning twice. So, but let's see the journey for Rick. Rick has started like this. R plus 7 days plus 5 days, isn't it? That's a 5, that's a 7, and that's R. This is for Rick. Rick was R plus 12 days. So Rick has learned R plus 12 days. I'm not going to write days. So that's for Rick. How about Nick? Nick, okay, it's just the same thing. 12 days, but plus n. This is for Nick. Now we have this equation over here. Instead of r, we're going to write 5n. So that would be 5n. That's for Rick. Rick was 5n plus 12. Nick has been doing it for n plus 12. Okay. And here it says that it's just twice. Okay. So Nick is the smaller number. So we give times 2 to this part. Okay, so all we have to do is solve this equation. So let me make it black. So 5n plus 12 equals 2n plus 24. So we're going to have 3n equals 12. So, okay, we're going to have n equals 4 days. Okay. 3 and then yes. So n is 4. So let's see here. Now let's go back to our graph. So n over here was only 4 days. So r was 5 of this. So that's going to be 20 days. 4 times a 4, 20 days. So today, what is the number of days that Rick has been learning plus the number? So all of the graph. So for Rick, 20 plus 2 weeks. Okay, so for Rick, 20 days plus 2 weeks, 34. For N, again, 2 weeks, 14 days, plus 4 is 18. So what is the sum of these two numbers? Okay, 52, I think, right? Yes, 52. So the answer is D. Okay, see, that question was a little challenging. So let's focus on the last question. Let me clear everything. I have all of it here. So I think I'm on the way. I could be here. Okay. Over the last 20 years, the standard ratio of television screens has changed from 4 to 3, from 4:3 to 16:9. When the ratio of the content doesn't match the ratio of the screen, it is being viewed on black bars, often used to compensate as illustrated. Okay, now, okay, what's the question? If L is the fraction of the screen blacked out in the left diagram, and R is the fraction of the screen blacked out in the right diagram, then what is the ratio of L to R? Okay. It's a ratio question, so we could assume any numbers that we want, right? This is 3. 3 what? It doesn't matter. 3 meters, inches, feet, kilometers, doesn't matter. So this is 3, this is 4. Okay. Now, this one is 9. But the units wouldn't be. If this is 3, this wouldn't be 9. It's a different unit. Right? So what to do? So instead of this, because they will have different units, 3 of this is 9 of something else. So I'm going to call it 9x. So if this is 9x, this one over here will be 16x. So let's find it. I think then The rest of it is just child's play. So x would be, so 3 equals 9x. So x is 1/3. If x is 1/3, okay, then this would be 16/3. Okay, so all of this from here is 16/3. Okay, so we have everything we want now, right? So we want the area of the big rectangle. Okay, would be this one. The big one would be 3 times 16/3. So the big area of everything is 16. Why? 3 times 16/3 is 16. Okay, the area of this is 12. This shape is the area of this 3 times 4. So what is the area of the black bars? 16 minus 12, 4. So these are the area of this plus this is 4. So what is L? That's L. We could also write it as 1/4. So L is 1/4. Let me write it here. 1/4 is for L. Okay, so the same process. Let's repeat it. Okay, now which one is easier to start? You see, if I call this 3 and this 4, my job will be harder. Okay, so let's just call this one. Okay, this one is 9. This one is 16. Again, it's a ratio question. Don't worry about anything. Okay, if this is 9, this is, okay, 16. So the big rectangle, okay, this one is 3/4, right? But again, it's a different kind of unit. So I'm going to call it 4x. Now this time, this is 3x. Okay. So if 16 is 4x, so x is 4/16, which is 1/4. Okay. I'm sorry. If 4x is 16, x is 4. So 4x is 16, x is 4. Yeah, I'm tired, aren't I? Okay, so if x is 4, then we have the size of this side. 3/4. 3 times 4 is 12. So this side will be, okay, 12. Okay, now if this is 9, okay, we had this, okay, 16. This one was 12. So from here to here, all of this is 12. So the big rectangle, the large rectangle is 16 times 12 is all of it. So 16 times 12 would be this, the large area. Okay. So what is the area of these black bars? We could write it like this. It would be 16 times 12 again, the whole thing, minus the part inside, which is 9 times 16. You can see it. Okay, now let's go and simplify this. That's going to be the ratio of the black bars. Okay, 16s are the same. So let's factorize it. Take it out. So it's going to be 16. 12 minus 9, right? We're just talking about the numerator here. So it will be 3. This would be 3. So all of this, instead of all of this, I'm going to write 3 times 16. Okay. As you see, this and this is canceled. It's going to be the same as 3 over 12. So simplify them both. It's going to be 1 over 4. Again, so L is 1/4, R is 1/4. So what is the ratio of this? 1 over 4th divided by 1 over 4th is going to be 1 and 1. Okay, so that's the end of this video. So I'm going to go with the rest of the questions, making another video. So if you need other AMC levels, I don't have the questions. So if you do have the questions, send them to me. If you want other tests, also write in the comment section. Or on my About page, I have my email address. You could send, or you could keep in touch with me through my email. Thanks for watching.